Hello ladies and gentlemen, Nick here and welcome to my review of The Incredibles, the 6th animated movie from PIXAR. And the first of the currently 2 film Incredibles series. So the plot of The Incredibles is, well, as you're probably all aware, there was, at some point, superheroes protecting the world and protecting the peace. However, due to lots of lawsuits about when superheroes are saving the day, the government realises that it's wasting a lot of their money and decides to shut down the superhero program. They force the superheroes into hiding and living as civilians. This includes our main characters, Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, and Frozone. 15 years later, Mr. Incredible and Elastigirl are married and have 3 children. They are known as Bob and Helen Parr, and their children are Violet, Dash, and Jack Jack. Jack Jack being a baby. At this point, Violet's a teenager, so presumably she was born just after the legislation came in, and Flash was somewhere in between. Mr. Incredible, or Bob Parr, is itching to get back into the superhero game as he is finding his job as a insurance guy not going well. In fact, he actually throws his boss through a wall at one point after he gets annoyed with him. So then he receives a top secret message from a mysterious woman known as Mirage to fight a supposedly out of control government experiment robot, which he does. Then he gets back, he decides to get into shape, tries to dye his hair blonder. Well, it's already looking pretty blonde, but he made it a bit of a darker blonde. And he's getting back into shape and being a bit more more of a family man. And his relationship with his family improves, really. And then he goes off on another mission, but it turns out that it is a trap by the villainous Syndrome, who was a former fanboy of Mr. Incredible before he was cast aside for not having any powers and being too young to be a hero. So, or sidekick in his case. So he was cast aside, and now he's become a super villain who has been killing superheroes in order to test his machine so it can be perfect for the big fight. When it goes to town, it's seen as an attack from either another country or from aliens. And so Syndrome would go in to supposedly save the day and become the new superhero. And then he can sell off his inventions to everybody else when he dies, so that they'll all be superheroes. And yeah, he's very good at inventing stuff and creating weapons. That's how he got all the money to fund his mountainous lair. Ooh, it's actually very James Bondy on the islands. There's lots of the interior locations look very James Bond-esque, such as the volcano lair from Twice, the spaceship launch thing from the same film, as well as Moonraker, and what is those fire tunnels in a way, and some of the corridors look very Spy Who Loved Me. In fact, most of the inspiration for the interior is taken a lot from the Lewis Gilbert James Bond films, Twice, The Spy Who Loved Me, and Moonraker, which we'll get on to in a couple months' time each. Twice should be February, Spy Who Loved Me and Moonraker April or May. We'll get to those. Music also has a very Bondy-esque track. I know this film is about superheroes and it's probably a love letter to comic book superheroes and the new breed of superhero films that were coming out in the early 2000s, like Spider-Man and X-Men. But of course, superheroes would be more popular following the Marvel Cinematic Universe's beginnings, as well as the Dark Knight. And yeah, we're pretty much in a superhero mania era now, which is perfect time for Incredibles 2 to come out, to be honest, even if it was a pretty long time for it to follow up its predecessor. Then again, so was Finding Dory, but that was 1 year less in terms of time taking. Anyway, So when Mr. Incredible is in trouble, his family then have to come and rescue him, and eventually they all have to band together to stop Syndrome. And that is basically the plot of The Incredibles, and it is bloody fantastic. This is a fantastic movie. Everyone's going to love this film. Well, maybe nearly everybody, but it's a perfect family film, especially if you're into superheroes and animated superheroes. Yeah. My only nitpick is everything to do with the superhero legislation, but that's all going to get fixed out in the next film. We'll put that to the side, and it's still really entertaining, really fun, really enjoyable. That's pretty much what I'm going to say on it. It's great. This animation looks beautiful. The characters, geniusly well developed. The acting, perfect. Near perfect. Well, yeah. Near perfect. I will say Jason Lee basically steals the show as Syndrome. He is brilliant. And yeah, such great performance, as does Samuel L. Jackson with Frozone, and there's a nice little reference to one of his other films, Die Hard with a Vengeance. Love the reference. It's the water cooler scene in this film, referencing the one of the scenes in Die Hard with a Vengeance where he has to answer a phone. And he's telling the police officers pointing a gun at him that he needs to answer this phone. And yeah, and the score is beautiful, especially those Bondy-esque moments. They even used the On Her Majesty's Secret Service theme in the little teaser trailer, but that was actual Bond film music. Whilst in this film, this is an original score, but it's got some Bondy-esque tracks in it, especially when they're outside the complex and they're trying to get in, and it's really cool, and it just looks so good. The animation, like I said, is fantastic, although it could be slightly dated, but I think in terms of animating humans, they had gotten the groove with this film. Pixar, they'd managed to get the groove, and it paid off really well, and it only just keep paying off in the future films with humans in it. And yeah, it's just really brilliantly executed. I really just have all praise for this film. And yeah, just really great. So I'm going to give The Incredibles a well-deserved 10 out of 10. Pretty much near perfect. I mean, some nitpicks, but still pretty brilliant. And yeah, also has a nice little... The way Mr. Incredible defeats the first robot has a nice little tie-in to how they defeat the big robot at the end. And there is a nice final battle, final fight, final obstacle to go through just before the end. And then they wrap it up, and then you've got the final scene at the track, and then with the Underminer, great John Ratzenberger cameo that he reprises at the start of the next film. Just absolutely brilliant. So that's my review of The Incredibles. I've got a few more Pixar films to review, but at time of recording, not yet. I have to rewatch some. Monsters University is one, the Toy Story trilogy, Up, and Up, all have to be done, and also in Bug's Life and Good Dinosaur I have to watch and then I'll get around to doing those reviews. I think I've done all the rest, either on this channel or the other channel, with Inside Out going up last month. Yeah, the ones I've got to do, and I've got to rewatch them first, are Toy Story 2, Toy Story 3, Brave, Up, and also, yeah, I think it's just those 5. It's those 5 I've got to rewatch and then do, and there's 2 that I've got to watch and then do when they're after that, and that's Bug's Life and Good Dinosaur. Oh, and also I've got to rewatch and do Monsters University. 6 to do when I've rewatched them, and 2 to do when I finally get around to do them. That's 8, and that means I've done all the other 12, including this one. So anyway, thank you for watching my review of The Incredibles. And whilst we won't be moving on to another Pixar film, we will be moving back to James Bond with From Russia with Love. That will be the next review. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye. Don't forget to click below to subscribe to the official Nicholas Payne Retro YouTube channel. Hang on a second. Excuse me. Hang on, let me just choke for a minute. Hang on, I'm going to stop. Sorry about that. However, 15 years later, excuse me. Maybe will be April and March, and even if it's a bit late, even if it's a pretty late, even it was. Toy Story's got to be done, Bug's Life, Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc.'s been done, Finding Nemo's been done, this one's just been done, Cars has been done, Ratatouille's been done, Wally's been done, Up's got to be done, oh I remembered, Brave's got to be done, Cars 2's done, Brave's got to be done, Monsters University's got to be done, Inside Out's done, I missed one I think, Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc., Nemo, Incredibles, Cars, Ratatouille, Wally's done, Up, Toy Story 3, that's got to be done, Cars 2 done, Brave got to be done, Inside Out done, Good Dinosaur got to be done when I've seen it, Finding Dory done, Cars 2 done, sorry, Cars 3. Inside Out was 15, Good Dinosaur 16. 10, Finding Dory. Got to be done. Cars 3 done. Coco done. Incredibles 2 done. I think Finding Nemo, Incredibles, Cars 2, Cars 3, Incredibles 2, Ratatouille, Wally, Finding Dory, Coco, Inside Out, yeah, that's about 12.